While nobody is touching Tesla globally in electric vehicle sales, the situation might be a little different in the European market, where Volkswagen is giving Elon Musk's company serious competition. Will Tesla always remain ahead of Volkswagen in Europe? Join us as we explore if Volkswagen could be beating Tesla in Europe. The CEO of Volkswagen, Herbert Diess, is a big fan of Tesla and its CEO. He even tries to learn some tricks of the game from the American company, which was why he invited Musk to attend an internal meeting with his top managers. Diess is even willing to visit Tesla's new plant in Berlin when production starts there. However, the love affair does not affect Diess's ambition to beat Tesla at what Tesla does best. The Volkswagen CEO has announced it wants to surpass Tesla by 2025. That is the same year he thinks electric vehicles will attain price parity with internal combustion engine vehicles. But Diess wants people buying Volkswagen vehicles more than Teslas. That is undoubtedly ambitious, but considering how Diess got into his position, it is the right mindset for the CEO to have. The paths Volkswagen and Tesla took to electric vehicles are markedly different. The American company was started due to Musk's ambition to fight environmental pollution by eradicating internal combustion engine vehicles and making everybody drive zero-emission electric vehicles. This is why Musk is gunning for a cheap electric vehicle that will incentivize more people to abandon their gas-powered cars. It is the same reason Musk personally welcomes all electric cars regardless of the brand, as they will help him achieve his climate goals. Volkswagen, however, got into electric vehicles as an act of penance, trying to recover from a battered image after the deeply embarrassing Dieselgate scandal in 2015 that exposed how top officials had been faking emission tests for years. Volkswagen jumped at the opportunity to reinvent itself as an environmentally conscious automaker. After going through several CEOs, Diess came in from local rival BMW with a two-point mandate. The 63-year-old, a rare outsider allowed to lead the famed automaker, was tasked with regaining the trust of customers who turned their backs on Volkswagen after the emissions scandal and turning the company into a powerhouse of electric mobility, a job Diess has embraced with passion. Apart from paying a huge fine, part of Volkswagen's effort at redemption was starting and maintaining a public charging network, Electrify America in the US and Electrify Canada in Canada. It welcomes all brands of electric vehicles, a step Tesla has also agreed to take. However, a second reason Volkswagen is ramping up its electric vehicle production is that it has to. The European Union has set strict targets for automobile companies regarding emissions targets, and the fines for not meeting them are high. If Volkswagen doesn't want to be caught slacking a second time, it has to get its acts together. Part of Diess's strategy to beat Tesla is, ironically, to compare itself to Tesla mercilessly. This he repeatedly does to the consternation of Volkswagen workers and board. For example, since taking over the control, Diess has sought to open up Volkswagen, known for its insular culture, to a wider public, just like Tesla, which Musk operates like an open book that anybody can read on Twitter. If you follow the CEO on Twitter, that is enough to keep up with what the company is up to. You can even make feature requests directly to the CEO, which he might acknowledge and pass to his development team. Since Diess likes to compare the two companies, how is Volkswagen doing compared to Tesla regarding electric vehicles? During the third quarter of 2021, Tesla sold 241,300 electric vehicles, while Volkswagen moved 122,100 units across all its brands, which is about half. However, when it comes to Europe, the battle between Volkswagen and Tesla is fiercer. For September 2021, among the top 20 electric car sales, Tesla accounted for 15.2% with its two BEVs, while Volkswagen accounted for 11.4% across all its brands. Volkswagen controls Audi, Porsche, Skoda, and Seat. What is helping Volkswagen close the gap with Tesla in Europe? For one thing, it helps that Volkswagen has a CEO who is a big fan of electric vehicles. With his laser focus on battery electric vehicles, Volkswagen has only one direction to go: upwards. Another advantage Volkswagen has is its multiple brands. Unlike Tesla, which only pushes two models in Europe, Volkswagen has multiple models from its brands that appeal to a wider group of potential buyers. Its Porsche models, for example, are offered to people who can afford more luxurious vehicles, while its Skoda and Seat brands sell to buyers who are more price-conscious. Volkswagen also sells models that are more tailored to the European market. The Model 3 and Model Y, for example, are more suitable to North American buyers who prefer larger cars with bigger batteries and longer ranges and with higher sticker prices. However, the European market tends towards smaller cars, which have less space, less battery and driving ranges, and most importantly, lower prices. The Volkswagen ID.4, for example, cost €32,000 at the lowest trim in the UK since it is eligible for grants, while the Model 3 base model goes for €12,000 more at €44,490. The same is true for the Skoda Enyaq, which starts at a similar price to the Volkswagen ID.4 at €32,010 after applicable grants. Things might get a bit better when Tesla begins to manufacture in Berlin and exports to the rest of Europe from there, but Tesla has its work cut out for it for closing that gap in prices. Something else Volkswagen has working for it is brand recognition. It has built a brand in Europe for decades, which, despite the Dieselgate scandal, is still familiar and easy to trust. Europeans tend to buy from familiar brands, especially when it comes to significant investments like a car, meaning they are likely to consider a battery-powered Volkswagen car when they decide to switch from internal combustion engine cars. Looking into the future, in a growing segment like the electric vehicle industry, it is not easy for a leader to maintain its lead. Some experts have predicted leadership in the EV market will be regional. In that scenario, Tesla might end up ruling North America, but ceding Europe to Volkswagen and even Asia to other EV brands, especially one of the local Chinese brands. Or, as Ben Callow, an analyst with financial advisory Baird, puts it, the EV market could see at least two electric vehicle ecosystems, one dominated by Tesla, akin to Apple's iPhone, and a rival similar to Samsung, which would be Volkswagen. Volkswagen is preparing for that future, and interestingly, it is copying some of Tesla's moves. Spurred on by its CEO, Volkswagen is among the legacy automakers with the clearest plan to electrify their product lineups. Like Tesla, Volkswagen focuses on the battery, as the fight for EV supremacy might come down to who gets batteries. So the German powerhouse is locking down its battery supply to support its expansion plans. Diess explains his battery strategy during Volkswagen's Power Day event that his company wants to secure pole position. And yes, Power Day reminds you of Tesla's own Battery Day yearly event, where Musk and his top executives provide updates on Tesla's battery effort. And just like the company it is trying to beat, Volkswagen is investing big with interest in 6 battery plants in Europe by 2030. The company will be spending up to $29 billion on this. By that time, Diess wants 60% of Volkswagen's cars to be electric. While Tesla outlined plans to reduce the cost of its battery by 56% last year, Volkswagen revealed it could slash its battery cell costs by 50% by developing a one-size-fits-all format for most use cases. That, however, is not the only way Diess is copying Tesla. The German CEO recognizes the superiority and value of Tesla's software, especially in autonomous driving. According to Diess, the next generation of automotive software is where Europe still has a chance to play a leading role in the domain of complex software. Diess is pushing his own company to become as responsive as Tesla when it comes to software, even citing how Tesla could rewrite its software to work with another chip within a matter of weeks. Volkswagen also wants to beat Tesla in Europe with its extensive experience in mass production. The company makes and sells about 10 million vehicles annually and wants to bring that high-volume manufacturing expertise to making electric vehicles. It plans to build a new plant in its Wolfsburg factory that will support its Project Trinity electric vehicles by 2025 to 26. Let us know what you think of Volkswagen's chances of beating Tesla in Europe in the comment section.